mostly in or on the self, who is the source of everything. And therefore such a person, the what do you call, the wise man, he is not seeking anything in this worldly, in this world, outside world, to make himself complete. He is complete as he is. He has recognized that. And this is our experience, that one thing today can satisfy us, then same thing becomes a source of dissatisfaction after some time. And we keep going after every product, everything in this world. Maybe after this I will become happy. Maybe after this I will become happy. No, this is the last one, then I will be contented. No, now this is the last one, then I will be contented. There is no end to it. All the scriptures are telling us the source of joy is within you, as you. Recognize this. But how many of us, yes, the source of joy is within me. But then what do? We continue to keep indulging in the world to gain that joy that is our essential nature. But a wise man has recognized this and is not falling into the trap. And therefore this wise person is performing the true tarpanam. And directly realizing the essence of his world, of this world, as his own self, is said to be the man who has done tarpanam. See, rather than invoking the gods, invoking the mains, invoking the rishis, invoking some power within this creation in order to satisfy his wishes, he has gone to the source because of whom the mains are, because of whom the gods are, because of whom the rishis are, because of whom all the whole world is. And when everything is because of that one source, that knowing that one source gives him, is the true tarpanam, then for such a wise man there is no more seeking any other desire to make himself complete. Knowing the self itself is final completion. Nothing more. That itself gives you the final bliss, the ultimate. We have two aspects of our mind. One is the mind which continuously goes after the world and is subjected to stimuli, and therefore in a state of flux or agitation or non-decision making state. That is the mind. Whereas intellect is the one which makes the decision. So listen to your intellect. When we have studied the scriptures many times over now, and what are the scriptures telling you? You are yourself the source of the whole creation. How many of us are putting our attention to that source? Very few. Isn't it? Very few of us are putting our attention on that source. So don't become a slave of your mind where the desires erupt. Listen to your pure intellect. And the pure intellect will always guide you to the source, to the essence, where all desires stand fulfilled in toto, in one go. You don't have to go one by one by one. When this discrimination matures with proper reflection and contemplation, one comes to see his own essential self. As in case of other practices, Tarpanam has three levels of meaning. It is action-oriented and desire-oriented for the ignorant man. For the struggling aspirant, it is another tool to be used in the attempt to refine his spiritual acumen. And of course, for the wise man, it is another facet of the bliss which he constantly experiences. the three levels of understanding. For an ignorant man, he is doing it out of fear, he is doing it out of duty, he is doing due to action orientation. It's an egocentric activity. Whereas for a seeker, it is a way to see the divine pervading through everything. He makes it as a ladder to expand his mind, to make his mind single pointed. And for a wise man, he is already abiding. So this is the understanding of Tarpanam. Now the eighth practice recommended in the Sadachara is Agnihotram, or an oblation to the sacred fire. In our culture, every day, because this comes from the Vedic period, that time fire was considered very sacred. The various other gods as we know them today, they were not there. And in those times, the fire is that element which purifies everything, and therefore it used to be invoked. So and a person who invokes the fire every day at home is called an Agnihotri, and the process is called Agnihotram. There are still innumerable millions of people in India who are practicing this. Millions of them. But what is the difference between a person who is practicing this and a person who is a wise man? What is the difference between the two? That we will see. Atmani swaprakashagnau, Atmani swaprakashagnau, Chittame kahutim kshipet, Chittame kahutim kshipet, Agnihotri savigneya, Agnihotri savigneya, Itare namadharakaha, Itare namadharakaha. Together. Atmani swaprakashagnau, Chittame kahutim kshipet, Agnihotri savijneya, Itare namadharakaha. One who has offered the one oblation, that is the Chittam, a storehouse of likes and dislikes in the fire of the knowledge of the self, is the real Agnihotri. All others who are regularly engaged in the action of offering 12 or 16 types of oblations in the fire are Agnihotri for the namesake only. So what is the regular, casual and our ignorant understanding of Agnihotram? We will see that here. Then here it says, in the Vedic Karma Kanda injunctions, daily Agnihotra and the fortnightly homas are advised. In India, I have seen people who practice every day. Here I have seen a lot of people do it on the Amavasya day. And every fortnight they do it. The non-performance of the daily homa is considered to be sinful. The material includes following 18 different varieties of trees. Now imagine how much tension will be there if you are not able to collect all the 18 types. So the various names are given: Palasha, Falguni, Agrodha,